All right, we're here at the NASA Tweetup, right outside the actual building where the shuttle is housed, and here with Dennis Crowley, the founder of Foursquare, who was here at the Tweetup. How's it going, Dennis?
It's going great. It's been a pretty fun day. Get to do all sorts of fun NASA stuff.
Yeah, I thought the Astro Robonaut was pretty cool.
Yeah, I shook the robot's hand. It was the highlight of my trip.
Awesome. So as we're sitting here in the Florida sun, this last-minute election showdown all around the country. Tomorrow's election day. What's Foursquare doing for election day?
Yeah, so we did a couple things. Like, one of the things we wanted to do is see if we could actually use Foursquare to encourage people to go out and vote. So we have an I voted badge you can unlock by going to your polling places and checking there or checking in that you voted. And we've also put together kind of this interactive map that shows all the activity check-in lists of really check-in data at all these polling places across the country. And so we worked with our friends at Just3 to come up with that map. And you can go and get it on our website. I think it's elections.foursquare.com. And it will show you in real time just like where the activity is, how people are voting, what the breakdown of male to female is in different districts. And it's just a fun way to cut up a lot of the check-in data that we're getting around the elections.
So how did they actually go about identifying the check-in places? Is that a collaborative enterprise?
Yeah, so we worked with Google on this one. We were able to get the location of all these polling locations. We were able to import those and just tag them as polling locations. And so when we're pulling the check-in data out, we know specifically that it applies to that particular category.
Cool. And the data that you're receiving, is that something that developers can build from so they could create apps that tell people more about who's checking in where, etc.?
Yeah, sure. So everything that we build is built on top of our API. And so just using our standard API stuff, which is at apps.foursquare.com, you can go in there and just get any of the tools that you need to cut the data up in just whatever way you see fit.
So, larger question. Foursquare has distinguished itself from other previous platforms like, say, Dodgeball, because it's used game mechanics in really interesting ways, whether it's badges or points or everything else. When you apply that to elections, how does it change the game? Do you think game mechanics, so to speak, can actually increase civic engagement?
Yeah, I mean, we use game mechanics to encourage people to do things that we think they'd be really excited about doing. And it could be traveling to different countries or going to seek out new places or new experiences. I don't really think of it so much as a game. It's just using the mechanics to influence behavior and try to change behavior a little bit. And I think that really plays into some of the stuff that we're doing with the I voted badge. One of the things that we're finding is that when people send their Foursquare check-ins out to Twitter and out to Facebook, it can drive behavior. So if I check into a coffee shop all the time, friends will be like, hey, I want to go to that coffee shop. And we're thinking the same thing can happen in mass. If you start checking into these polling locations, you start broadcasting out that you voted, it may encourage other friends that weren't going to vote to actually go out there and do something.
Now, when I talk to certain demographics of folks, they don't think that Foursquare as a game that tells people where your location is sounds like something they'd want to do, and yet 4 million people are doing it now. What's been the draw? What's keeping people coming back?
Well, I think it's a little bit of everything. Like, we're really passionate about the stuff that we're building, and we first started trying to just build these social utilities that would make our life a little bit better in New York, and it's kind of spread all throughout the world, and we're finding that the game mechanics are really interesting and exciting for people. And it's not just getting points and winning badges, but it makes your days more interesting. Like, you find out when friends of yours at the same airport terminal or also at the library with you. People go out of their way to try to collect some of the badges that we do. You get these tips at restaurants that telling you what to order. Like, it's kind of this nice little system of just bubbling up interesting things that are going on nearby. It works much better than we ever imagined it would.
And when I'm walking around DC, if I check in, I can get tips from C-SPAN now, which is pretty cool.
Sure. Okay.
And I've heard about NASA Space Explorer badge since we're here. What just happened there? Is someone checked in from the space station? Is that right?
Yeah, we had one of the astronauts up in the International Space Station check in on Foursquare. It's the first check-in from outer space, which got us super excited.
No doubt.
One of the reasons I'm here is because we did this partnership with NASA, and they invited us down to go, meet with all the other, Twitter fans.
Great. Well, Dennis, thanks for talking to me today, and look forward to seeing you on Foursquare and online.
Yeah, thanks so much for the interview. Appreciate it.